Hi everyone, my name is Attorney Ral Obioha. I'm an immigration attorney, primarily based in Houston, Texas. I always say this, but I represent clients all over the country because immigration law is federal law. Now, this video today is specifically important. I hope you all are staying safe out there, and taking care of yourselves. For us, our firm, even though we're working in full force, we are working remotely, and have limited office interactions just to get applications sent out and also responses received. Having said that, this video is about what you must have heard about Trump's tweet on April 20th, which was 3 days ago at night. It was a late night tweet. So up until now, we weren't taking it seriously because we cannot stop applications based on late night tweets. So if we did that, that would not be appropriate with it. All right, having said that, so the executive order, which we were anticipating since the 20th, actually came out yesterday. So I have a copy of the text right here, and I wanted to go over it a little bit with you. This order went into place today, midnight today, and basically suspends immigration from outside the United States for 60 days. So from the onset, that clearly tells you that it only applies to those who are outside the United States at this time. And that is limited in time, so it means that it's only applicable for 60 days, even though those of us in the immigrant community kind of suspect that it might be extended depending on where we are as a country in 60 days. So I want to first start off telling you about why why this executive order, or why the government felt the need to put this executive order into place. So according to the executive order, the government states that the reason, they have two primary reasons why this was necessary for them to do at this time. Number one, they said that they are worried about labor supply being more than labor demand, and that they're trying to protect the jobs of Americans. He also stated the age-old argument that when lawful permanent residents are given residency, they're granted open market employment. That's the wording in the order. It says open market employment authorization documents, to basically go out and work and to be able to get any job that they qualify for. And at this point, they're worried about American jobs, and stopping immigration from outside the United States will leave more of these jobs available to Americans who are here. The second reason that they provided in the order is that they said that at this point we have limited healthcare resources, and so allowing immigrants to come into the United States from outside at this point will have them competing for the limited healthcare resources with Americans. So that's the second reason. Now let's state this. I mean, the only reason why a lot of us in the immigrant community don't think that this was necessary at this time is because consulates are closed already, due to COVID, and so we hadn't even anticipated that they'll be open the next 60 days, and so that's why the motive behind this order is debatable, to say the least, at this point. Now, moving on, who is included? Okay, so who is affected by this order? So listen up. This is the important part. It applies to any immigrant who is outside the United States as of today, which is April 23rd, and who does not already have an immigrant visa approved. So if the immigrant has already been processed abroad and already have an immigrant visa, if you're able to travel, you can come in. It doesn't matter whether or not you're included in this category. Now, we're going to learn more about who is included by actually looking at who is excluded. So this order does not, and this suspension does not apply to the following individuals. If you're in the United States, if you're adjustment of status applicant who is currently pending or who is yet to apply, does not apply to you. Your applications are going to go forward as usual, and only subject to the current COVID ban, which is that in-person interviews are being held on hold right now. So you can still put in your applications if you're looking to adjust your status and you're in the U.S. You can still put in your application. This does not apply to people who are applying, whose application or whose presence in the United States is going to be of national interest. These are people who are, for example, I think this actually specifies like healthcare, medical professionals who probably help in this situation. And anybody, as they say in the order, anybody who comes to the United States will advance the national interests of the United States. So they put that. They also put it does not apply to U.S. citizen spouses. So if you're a spouse of a U.S. citizen, it does not apply to you. It does not apply to children under 21 of U.S. citizens. So that doesn't apply to you. If the embassy opens tomorrow, this order will not stop the visas from being processed. It does not apply to green card applicants already in the U.S. Like I said previously. It also does not apply to green card holders, no matter where they are the United States, in the world. Even if you have a green card and you're outside the United States, you can still come in and you can still use your green card. It doesn't apply to adoptees of U.S. citizens in the IR4, IH4 categories. It also doesn't apply to U.S. military members, their spouses, and their children. It doesn't apply to special immigrant visas or SISQ classification visas. That's a whole. We can get into that in another video, but just know that it doesn't apply to special immigrant visas at this time. Now, it does not apply to non-immigrant visas. So if you're trying to visit the United States and the consulate is open, you can still apply and try your luck. Even fiancé visas, because fiancé visas is not specifically mentioned. But a fiancé visa is a non-immigrant visa that has the intent of being a permanent resident, has intent to apply for permanent resident status upon entry and marriage to the U.S. citizen. And so if you're looking at the order, even though it doesn't specifically state it, by interpretation, it does not apply to fiancé visas because the fiancé visa doesn't affect non-immigrant visas, also doesn't affect spouses of U.S. citizens, which are connected to the fiancé visa itself. Does that make sense? So basically, non-immigrant visas in general are not affected. However, there is speculation that the Department of Homeland Security plans to review adding non-immigrant visas in about 30 days. So we don't know whether that's just speculation or whether that's really what they intend to do. So we only know by waiting. So I hope this answers your questions. Basically, based on what we know, based on who is not included, I think the people who are going to be most affected by this are parents of U.S. citizens, spouses of green card holders, siblings of green card holders, adult children of U.S. citizens. These are the categories of individuals, family-based petitions that will be affected by this suspension and by this executive order. I hope that this answers your questions. This is just all we know as of this point. That it's about 8 to 10 pages long, the executive order, depending on how you print it. But it's the relief here is that even though it's not necessary at this time, at least the executive order came out and it didn't halt applications of people who are already in process, people who are already here, and asylum applications. These applications that are still going forward, and it's temporary in nature. It's not permanent, and so we're going to keep our fingers on the pulse and see where we are in 60 days. If you have any questions, feel free to call my office. You can reach us at 832-569-1110. You can also visit our website at www.ralobiohalaw.com. Thank you. Have a good one.